Mother Lovin'Vation. Let's get into it. Motivation. This is the initial burst of energy and excitement that gets us started for tasks and goals. It can come from a conversation or an idea or a rude comment that makes us feel shit about ourselves, or we see something on TV or in a movie. Motivation, it sparks, it comes alive in you. Discipline. This is the consistent effort and commitment that maintains the fire that the motivation kindling started. So even when the initial spark has faded, discipline is what can carry us on. So we're going to be talking about that too. Motivation gets you started, discipline keeps you going. Both are beautiful to have, both are slightly different games to play, even though they're two sides of the same coin. Here's two people. One person has double the energy, the willpower, and the clarity as the other person, who is going to have a more motivated existence toward their goals and dreams and relationships and all that good stuff. Obviously, old mate with the 8 stuff. So let's talk about these bits and pieces real quick, starting with energy. Energy, guys, the 5 pillars of health. You've got your sleep, your nutrition, movement, light, and relationships. It is entirely possible that your next level, unimaginable motivation is on the other side of a few more vegetables. It's totally possible that next level motivation will come from you getting some sun and some movement in. Now, I understand that it's like, we're getting motivated to do movement or getting motivated to eat good food. So you'll see later how there's some different bits and pieces we can utilize to tie in there. But with these pillars of health, guys, this is the important stuff. If you've got glaring holes here, patch that shit up before you start worrying about the other things. Willpower. Willingly willpowering ourselves to do stuff. Here's how not to do it. If we are avoiding discomfort and pleasure seeking without effort, so think things like gaming or porn or movies or hyper-palatable foods that are really yum, our biology, our makeup, what is inside us is designed to work and put in effort to get the thing, and then we get rewarded with the bliss chemicals and such. It's a crazy time to be alive where I can watch people fuck on my phone, whereas in the olden days, I would have to go and survive and hunt and attract a mate and make sure we're safe, and then I get to see all the pretty things. And now you can just look at it on your phone and you get the same heart rate, the same blood pressure, the same chemical responses. It's making us weak. It's lowering our willpower because there is many ways to mainline easy pleasure into our veins these days. Reflect briefly on your own relationship with instant gratification. You might have heard how at SeaWorld, these killer whales in these tanks where there's not much space to swim around and such, they're getting floppy fins. They're not using it and they are losing it. And the truth is, with a lot of people these days, their fins be fucking floppy because modern day we don't even have to use our eyes that much because we can turn lights on. And I don't even have to bend over because everything's at a nice table height, and don't even have to whatever. Life is so unimaginably, stupidly easy. We're just a couple years away from WALL-E, where we just sit in the chairs and get drip fed all the stuff of life. So on this willpower thing, by doing hard things, choosing to do hard things, in Discipline is Destiny, Ryan Holiday, he reflects a lot about stoicism. It wasn't just these days with people like Goggins and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and whoever else doing hard things on purpose. This has been a stoic philosophy forever. Doing the hard thing because you're the type of person that does hard things. And this increases your capacity in the future to do bigger, better, cooler, hard things. Enjoy the increased pleasures that come of hard work. Hard work is the gift. I heard something the other day from Alex Hormozy. He was explaining how in the Bible, I'm not particularly religious, but in the Bible, God gave Adam a job before he gave him a wife. Tend thy garden. Hard work is the reward. We have pathways and chemicals and processes and things that want us to do effort, get reward. The effort part is what a lot of people are missing. So putting in effort to get rewarded. Being able to prioritize delayed gratification. You might have heard of the marshmallow study. They give kids 1 marshmallow that they can eat now, or if they wait a little bit longer, they can have 2 marshmallows. And they followed these kids for many years, and they were able to discover work patterns, what their finances turned out like, what opportunities came into their life, blah, blah, blah. And the big gist takeaway of it is if you can delay gratification, you set yourself up for success in all areas of life. So being able to prioritize delayed gratification, mighty legendary thing to do. Watch and consume consciously. We've all fallen into scroll holes. We've all binge watched things. We've all blah, blah, blah. If we are conscious of this, knowing, hey, this is a reward. This is escapism. This is play. I'm going to turn that fucking light off. It's too bright. This is escapism. This is a play. Consciously watching our bits and pieces rather than just smoothing our brains over with instant gratification. Because remember, someone else is making money when we're thumb scrolling this stuff. Someone else is building their dreams, their business, their profits when we are watching things. Yes, it's okay to do it. I'm not an absolutionist that we shouldn't be on screens and things. My personal entertainment preference is YouTube, but consciously consuming this stuff. And from there, we're able to grow this reservoir of willpower. It's like a muscle. It's like a part of us where at first, just to make healthy eating decisions was a struggle for me. And then, oh my God, I trained at the gym and I ate healthy today. Geez, like that was pretty much spent. I will play games and do whatever else for the rest of the day. Now I'm building relationships and business and body and training and all different things. And here I am making a presentation at the end of the day. My willpower has improved. Let's fucking go. Proud of you, Luke. I love you, brother. Bit of shameless self-loving plug there. Let's crack on. The idea of a dopamine fast is something that came to me when I was in a super duper rut and I just couldn't get out of months of just thinking, God, I don't really want to do anything except fucking scroll my phone. A dopamine fast is the idea of willingly foregoing enjoyable things for a day so as to like reset the levels of what we find pleasurable. So you can see the 3 levels here: beginner, intermediate, and time theorist. I've done 2 of these, and it's like you spend a day doing nothing except walking and journaling. Don't eat, don't go on your phone, like nothing stimulating. The next day, you like look at a fucking tree and it's like, wow, this is so incredible because our baseline has been reset in this sort of way. Now, you don't need to go hard out and do this whole time theorist thing, but hey, can you just go some days without hyper-stimulating food and maybe without screens? That's dopamine fasting enough. If you want to go hard out, I think it was a pretty enlightening experience that taught me a good bit about myself. I'm proud to say I done it and I liked it. Google it and research it more if you feel like willpower and motivation could be something that would benefit for you with the dopamine fast. So let's talk about clarity now. Clarity of vision, clarity of purpose. What's clarity? Like clearness, clear clarity, clearingly claritifying, right? Clarity. So being able to reflect and introspect. What's happening? What do I want? Being able to ask ourselves questions, peeling back the layers to discover like, what do I value? What do I hate? What do I want? Being clear on these things allows us to leverage those reasons to help push us forward or pull us towards where we want to go. If I'm so clear in my mind that I hate feeling like shit because I'm overweight, that's going to pull me towards a brighter future in that health sense. If I'm so clear in my mind that I want this rope skill that I want to unlock and be able to enjoy my workouts, then it's a target that you can hit. I'm clear of what it is so I can move towards it, or clear of what it is so I can not go towards it. A lot of people are stuck deliberating, thinking, what the fuck do I even want? What do I want to work on or do or experience or achieve? And they don't know. And that lack of clarity makes it really hard to get motivated to do the thing. So clarity of mission, clarity of vision. Remember, the quality of our questions determines the quality of the answers that we get. The saying and mantra is clarity is power. Know what you want because clarity is power. Know how to get it because clarity is power. Know what's working because clarity is power. Something I've kind of noticed for myself, I do all this stuff and I'm working, I'm really motivated, blah, blah, blah. And then some days come where I'm just a bit more like I don't really know. And I ask myself, well, what's the most important thing right now? And I don't really have an answer for it. And that's kind of a cue to take a step back and think, okay, well, what the fuck do I even want? What am I working on? What's the chief aim here? And this is where that clarity piece comes in. So energy, willpower, and clarity. Think of these things. Where would you stack up on all of these? Are you an 8? Are you a 4? Are you a 21? Shout out if you got what that meme is. So let's talk about some things that might motivate you. Different strokes for different folks, unique ways for different days. Something that you find highly motivating might be boring for someone else. But maybe you can find motivation in your eventual death. This is another thing that the Stoics would ponder heavily. We are going to die. Life is finite. Do we really want to spend it doing what we're doing now? Scrolling, watching, feeling shit. Do we? We're going to die. It's going to end. Sometimes that's enough to just snap you out. Be like the Stoics. Reflect death if it feels productive for you. Maybe you can find motivation in people, role models, contrasting role models. Contrasting role model is like, fuck, I really don't want to be like that guy. Whereas a role model is like, wow, I admire their character traits and such. An exercise that we got from Santana recently, the connection, confidence, and communication expert, was to create a capture list of people that we admire and the traits that that person has. I admire Patrick Bet-David for his entrepreneurial, open-minded awesomeness. I admire Tony Robbins for his playfulness and creativity in making things exciting. Blah, blah, blah. Go on, do your own things. Parents, kids, I don't have kids, but I think it can be a bit of a competitive advantage to have them in the sense that you want to be your best, you want to be your healthiest, you want to show up for them. Music is like hypnosis. It is an absolute miracle of fucking humanity that I can go, hey Siri, play Darude Sandstorm. That is fucking crazy that we are able to do that. Use this to your advantage. I suggest everyone has a success energy playlist. Accountability and competition. We are social creatures that want people to like us. It's baked into us. And in a very weird way, we would rather let ourselves down than let someone else down. So the power of accountability is extremely potent. Hey, I'm going to post 5 videos by the end of the week. And if I don't, I want you to tell me that I'm a piece of shit and I owe you $20. Something like that with a mate, just knowing that that deal is there gives you the motivation to make stuff happen in a lot of these cases. Competition as well, in the Latin meaning to conspire, to work together to bring out the best in each other. Competition, we've all felt that competitive willingness to do more things. So maybe curate your situation to get more motivation from it. Maybe find motivation in books or workshops or seminars. It's entirely likely that one idea can light a fire under your gonads and change the course of your life. Find these ideas, stick these ideas on pieces of paper around you, have conversations about these ideas, create content about these ideas, journal on them and reflect them, create mind maps about them, ask questions of other people about them. This shit really juices me, the ideas and such, and I can't tell you how much my life has changed from saying yes to all the books and seminars and conventions and workshops and mentors and coaches and such. Change the fucking game. And that's just improving life through knowledge. The things that I'm presenting to you here is knowledge, right? And then there's implementing a different sort of thing. But anyways, moving on. The 2-minute rule. This is a little bit of a psychological hack. There's been studies. I've seen this show up in a few books. This is to help us get over procrastination and get momentum rolling. How? It's making the deal with ourselves mentally. We are only going to work on this thing for 2 minutes. I'm only going to write for 2 minutes of the essay. I'm only going to wash the dishes for 2 minutes. I'm only going to do the chore for 2 minutes. And then after that, I can stop. And the psychological magic here is that the 2 minutes is such a low barrier for entry that even the most unmotivated version of ourselves can muster the enthusiasm to do 2 minutes. But then the magic is once you're 2 minutes in, the Herculean mountain of effort to get started is gone, and we kind of hacked it to be easier. And then you continue going on the back end of this 2 minutes. So see if that one works for you next time you want to do something that you don't want to do. Creating rewards and tracking progress. Rewards are nice. I will get a motorbike when I finish this. We will go on a 6-week holiday when I make that much. I will eat this food when I ABC. You get the point. It's also productive to track progress. Humans like seeing progress. Me personally, progress is one of my favorite words. I like progress videos. I couldn't juggle that. Now I could. Didn't have a vein there. Now I do. Didn't have that amount there. Now it is. This sort of tracking of progress, highly potent. Remember, what we measure better gets managed better. So track. Positive self-talk. Who is the person that you have the most important conversations with? It's you in your head. You've been there for every goal, every time you've been scared or lonely or worried or fucking everything. You've been there. You know more than anyone else what you need to hear. You have within you the answers of what you would want to hear, of what you would want to have asked of yourself to bring that little bit more motivation to the party. Now, it might not come easy at first, but give yourself permission to lead yourself. Remember, we are not our minds. We are a being that has a mind. Observe your mind doing its thing, and then you, as this higher level consciousness awesomeness, coach yourself. Another great prompt or frame I like to bring to people when they're going through something or things are a bit tough, I say to them, well, what advice would you give to someone in your exact situation? It's a lot easier to give advice to someone else than it is to take it for ourselves. But if we can take that advice, motivation be cooking. Maybe find motivation in affirmations or a vision environment. This is like microdosing positivity into our psyche. What's your phone wallpaper? What notes do you have around yourself? What art do you have? What plants do you have? Do you have a muscle chart that kind of sets the theme of what you want your environment to be like, body conscious? You get the gist. A daily routine or schedule. Now, this one kind of ties back to the clarity piece. If we know what we're doing, we can put one foot in front of the other and do that thing. But if we're wondering, oh, what's the best thing to do, blah, 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 highly unproductive, highly unmotivating. A clear routine or schedule so we can just step into it. We can go through the motions. Gets you motivated. Revisiting our goals and asking empowering questions. What do we want? Why do we want it? Every day, every situation. What do I want to go to the gym? Why do I want it to feel this way? What do I want to go to work now and be on time? Why do I want it so that I can develop these skills and this money and save for this and blah, blah, blah. Ask yourself, what do you want? Why do we want it? Why are you watching this presentation right now? What's it going to help you get? More motivation? Are you going to look better? Are you going to show up to your relationships and your training? How is your life going to change? Wow, these big, powerful why questions, these empowering questions that we're asking. Do you see where I'm going with this? Pain versus pleasure. Remember, at a base level, everything humans do is to move either towards pleasure or away from pain. Why do we want money? Because it gives us pleasure and things and it preserves us for some pain. Why do we want relationships that are nice to be in? Well, they're mighty fucking pleasurable and save the pain of being alone or lonely. Communicating to ourselves in these pain and pleasure prompts is highly motivating to the brain. Make it clear in your mind the pleasures afforded to you. For all these areas of life, say you've got a goal in your mental to stress less. Well, let's paint a really painful picture of what happens if you don't get on top of this stress thing. I'd be sick and I sleep less and I get unwell and I'm not there for my kid. Oh, that sucks. Okay, I'm pretty motivated to figure out this stress thing. And hey, on the pleasurable side, you're going to look better, you're going to age slower and wow, yeah, really get on top of this stress thing. Here's your brain talking to you. Let's get motivated to deal this stress thing because this is going to be highly pleasurable and you see, this is the game to play. All right, let's talk a bit about discipline. Everything in there has been motivationally themed. Motivation to get that spark and be like, woohoo, let's do stuff. Discipline is acting in spite of the laziness that we might feel. Discipline is acting in spite of the laziness we might feel. Discipline is feeling the feeling of not wanting to do it, but doing it anyway. This is a very special thing that we want to be curating for ourselves. By cultivating discipline, we can overcome procrastination and laziness and truly build a life that we love and are proud of. All the happiest people with the coolest things have a level of discipline. They are two marshmallow kids. They are able to forego instant gratification, wanking and smoking and drugs and food and TV for the longer lasting things, the relationships and the real money and the real success and the real wealth, not just financial wealth, health wealth, relationship wealth, spiritual wealth. Delayed gratification is one of the big pieces of the puzzle here. We can enjoy the gifts that only a disciplined life can give to someone. I just rattled some off there. The most successful people are able to forego instant gratification. And in this day and age of brain smoothing devices, it's more important than ever. Nike's really got it down here. Just do it. And it sounds stupid, but literally sometimes that's all there is to it, to just do it. And you do the thing when you didn't want to do it. And that action that you took today can change the thought that you have tomorrow. And because you did it yesterday, you did it to this day. And then they're tracking it. Like all these things conspire in your favor. You have complete permission to sit in the command chair of your life and just fucking do it. You don't need to wait to be motivated. You can just Nike, motherfucking do it. Last couple things. I love this. Discipline is truly one of the greatest forms of self-love. It is doing something for ourselves. I don't want to go to the fucking gym, but I'm going to go because I know it's for my best. I don't want to have that conversation. It's really uncomfortable, but I know it's going to be for my future happiness. I don't want to do that fucking project. It's annoying, but hey, I want the business. I want the money. I want the respect. I want the pride. I want to be able to retire my mum. Discipline's one of the greatest forms of self-love. The more self-work you do, the more times you listen to bearded, long-haired men scream in the microphone late at night, the more books you read, the more seminars you go to, the more discipline you're going to have. It's like a mental muscle that we get to grow, but can also atrophy like muscles. So grow that fucking muscle. Let's go. More clarity and calling to our why equals more discipline. That's a nod to the clarity piece again. Know what we want. I want a body that I'm proud of. Okay, discipline to go to the gym comes. And eliminating distractions equals more discipline too. Phone on silent. Get in your workspace. Get in your work zone. If the brain doesn't have other things to get feathered off on, it can zone in and focus. A goal I like to prescribe people on this discipline thing, set a goal as to do the thing when you don't feel like it. And then there is just a huge stake in the ground, proof that you are building your discipline because you didn't want to do it and you did it anyway. Your brain wants to reward you for hard work. It is human hardwired in us. Again, you're meant to struggle to get the food. You're meant to go through hardship to find a mate and get to fuck them. You're meant to work every day to feed yourself and to get recognition. And now there's like, likes and videos and scrolls and things. It's floppy fin city. Don't be floppy fin. Modern lifestyle is softening us. A cold shower. This is just one of the most to the point, powerful displays to ourselves that we are willing to do things that we don't want to do. Go have a cold shower now, I dare you. Discipline is not a punishment we get. It allows us to avoid punishment. There are some bits and pieces to add to your vocabulary, to add to your legendary lexicon, to add to your beautiful, big-brained, big-hearted selves. Go crush some goals.